All right, JMC 6000 here in the JMC garage because it's raining outside today. But in front of me, I have the Toyota Camry XSE. It's a 2024 brand new Camry. Have it on loan to me from Toyota and from another place as well. But anyway, Toyota XSE, Camry, absolutely pretty stylish looking vehicle. So let's take a walk around while it's in the garage. Again, this color is, I forgot what the color is, something like Oxford white or something like that. It's like a generic white. There we go, that's the color. Generic appliance white. Yes. Awesome white. With the XSE package, you get, well, actually with all 2024 Corollas, you get full LED headlights, LED turn signals, and LED daytime running lights. But what's crazy is the daytime running lights are actually just the headlights that are on all the time. It actually doesn't use this part here or this part, where is it, down here, as a daytime running light. So, but this is on, and this is on when the headlights are actually on. When the daytime running lights are on, it's just actually the headlight by itself, and for some reason all those are off. This is kind of the new language, the slightly restyled Corolla for 2024. They have the radar sensor right here for the Safety Sense 3.0. And then let's come around the side. What we have on the XSE model is 18-inch dark tinted rims. Pretty nice looking. I actually like the way they look. The tires themselves are Yokohama tires. I believe they're Golanders, if I remember. No, Avid. Sorry, Yokohama Avid. Anyway, these are 225 40 R18. So we're talking about a very low profile tire, and I'll tell you why I'm not a big fan of that when I get to the driving portion. But very low profile tire on these. So same size tire on both front and back. Side of the vehicle, I'm so sorry that it's dirty, but again, it's been raining here. Hadn't had a chance to clean it. There is no tinted windows on the XSE. In fact, the only tinted windows on this vehicle is the sunroof right here. No tinted windows on the back, none on the sides here for the passenger. Now, come around the back of the Corolla XSE. As you can tell, we have this nice nice dark tinted or dark painted spoiler here. We have a rear diffuser and a dual exhaust outlet out the back on the one side there. The tail lights are LED running lights, LED brake lights with the third brake light as well, but the turn signal and the backup are incandescent, unfortunately. Let's look at the trunk. And not much to see here. I believe it's a little over 13 cubic feet of space in the trunk here. And what's nice is that Toyota still gives you a spare tire with a toolkit filled with styrofoam. Anyway, there we go. Spare tire. All right. So anyway, let's look underneath the hood before you join me inside. So let me do that right now. I'm going to pop the hood and let's talk about what's underneath the hood and what's powering this beast, the XSE. Now, for 2024 Toyota, used to have, when they came out, the 2020 Corolla used to have two different engine options, a 1.8 for naturally aspirated, or for non-hybrid powertrains was a 1.8, or this 2-liter dynamic force. Wow, that was loud. 2-liter dynamic force inline four. This is very similar to the 2.5 that you see in other Toyota products, but this is a scaled down version. In fact, the new Prius that just came out has this engine, this 2-liter, paired up to their hybrid powertrain. It's one of the reasons why this the new Prius gets amazing fuel mileage, but not only that, but it gets so much more power. Anyway, power stats on this are 169 horsepower, if I remember correctly, which is not too bad considering the size of the engine, and about 151 pound-feet of torque. So that's out of this 2-liter dynamic force, newest engine from Toyota. This engine's been out for just a few years, I think since 21. And here we are, 2024. And again, it's standard no matter which Corolla you get as far as gasoline options. This is the only non-hybrid gasoline engine available in the Corolla. Whether you get the XSE, the base, or even the LE or SE, it doesn't matter. You all get this engine. I believe Corolla still is available with a 5-speed manual in the SE. but this particular one, being the XSE, does have the CVT automatic. So, quick thing before we go inside, look at this. The engine oil is 0W8. Where do you find that at? Like, do I have to go to a dealership just to change the oil in this thing? That's insane. I thought the 0W16 was crazy in the 2.5, but in this engine, they went all the way down to 0W8. I mean, that's like water. It's crazy. Anyway, just thought I would make mention of that. 0W8 full synthetic motor oil is what this engine takes. I can't believe it's that thin. Absolutely crazy. All right, let's go ahead and shut this up. And if you want to join me inside, we'll go over a few likes and dislikes and my overall kind of feelings about this vehicle, and then we'll go on a drive. All right, inside the XSE Camry. I'm sorry, not Camry, Corolla. Let's go ahead and fire it up real quick. All right, so in the Corolla here, and just want to make a couple things with this interior. I'll go over my likes and dislikes, and then we'll get to the driving portion. And we'll get that going. First off, I want to get some nice heat going, which is nice. Awesome. Anyway, so a couple things I want to remark. It does take a little bit to get this screen up and going. Right now it's connected to Android Auto automatically via my phone, but it takes a little bit for this screen to boot up. This is Toyota's new connected services infotainment system. This is an 8-inch screen. Unfortunately, this is the only size available in the Corolla. I think this is standard across the board. I'm pretty sure that they made this connected services and this screen standard no matter which model you get across the board. Now, the Corolla can be offered in a hatchback. You can get it in the GR version where you have the turbocharged 3-cylinder, or you can get this in a hybrid, whether it be the hatch or, wait, the hatchback is not available in a hybrid. That's only the sedans that are available in a hybrid. This right here is the XSE, one of the top of the line models. There's one above this, that'd be, I believe it's an LE hybrid, if I remember correctly. But anyway, this being the XSE, let's see how this interior is. Let's take a look at the seats real quick. So, the seats on the XSE, as you can tell, this is what they call the soft tex, kind of imitation leather vinyl type material, and with this cloth red pleated section in the center. And then we also have red accent stitching all over the seats on this center armrest. What's nice about the center armrest is it is adjustable. I can adjust it back like that, or I can bring it up like that, and it's very gushy soft. Got a little bit of storage in here, not a lot. That really slams pretty hard. Awesome. And for the dash, as many of others mentioned, pretty nice quality. You got some genuine stitching on the dash, nice and soft. It's not leather or anything, just a kind of a soft material. We got nice soft material up here on the upper part of the dash, above the gauge binnacle. We got nice soft material. And then on the door panels, it's nice and soft up above. And we have some nice soft material where your elbows rest with some red accent stitching, if you see that there. Anyway, on this particular model, on the XSE, we have the automatic transmission. It's a CVT with the actual physical first gear. I talk about a little bit about the CVT transmission, how it behaves on the drive, so you want to stay tuned for that part of the video. Heated seats. We got a low, we got a high, and we do have wireless charging. This is a single zone climate control. As you can see here, with an automatic setting, you can adjust your fan speed right here, and then we have you can turn it off. The defroster in the front, rear defroster, you can change where the air comes out. Eco heat and cool. If somebody can let me know what that means. Does that mean that I don't get heat or cool? I don't know. I never seen it eco heat or cool on HVAC before. We have recirculate or fresh air, and then the AC dedicated button. Other than that, one thing I would say about this interior, it's pretty simple, if not a little sparse. But given the price point to get, especially this particular vehicle, right around $28,000, or what it starts at, actually a little bit above that, you know, it doesn't really surprise me. So I want to have my camera person come in and shut the door, and let's go over my likes and dislikes on this particular Corolla hybrid. A couple things. Let's go over my dislikes first. I'll go through 3 dislikes and 3 likes. Number 1, dislike has to be the actual space up here. Now, I know this is a compact car, but, you know, I'm about 5'10", and I have the position right where I want it. It's actually not terrible, but my knee, and I can't, let me see if I can, sorry. There we go. That kind of sheds some light a little bit, but my knee hits this tunnel, and this tunnel is rock hard, solid plastic. I mean, and my knee, my whole leg here is just getting raw because, I mean, I usually rest it right there, and it's just, I can't go anywhere because this thing is right here, and it's not padded. It's rock hard plastic, and it's like really, I mean, after a long drive, my knee feels like it's been rubbed raw. So that's my first dislike about this. Second dislike has to be kind of the interior feel, dimensions. Again, it's a sea of black. I understand there is some red accent stitching and colors, and I appreciate that, Toyota, but a little bit more variety, a little bit more, I don't know, it's hard for me to say anything more because of the price point of this vehicle. I mean, I'm surprised we have what we have. But other than that, and another thing I have to say, another dislike, again, most of this is all around the interior. I have one more, but it has to be the seats. Now, don't get me wrong, the seats are okay. They're not the most comfortable thing in the world, but there's no lumbar support. I have power on this side, but on the passenger side, it's totally manual. No power adjustment whatsoever. And even though I have power back support and power fore and aft, I don't have any kind of lumbar support at all. Absolutely zero lumbar support. So, I'm not quite sure why Toyota thought that would be an omission, but they did. Another thing I kind of want to mention that's been kind of a disappointment, and then I'll get to my likes, has to be the fuel mileage. Right now I'm averaging 30 miles to the gallon, and this car is rated to get 40 on the highway. It's rated to get a little over that in the city, I think like 31, 32, and combined it's like 35, 36, and I'm getting only 30. And I know it's winter blend fuel. I get it, I understand that, but I just come off the highway, and that's all I could muster is 30 miles to the gallon. So I'm kind of disappointed with the fuel mileage. I don't know if it's something with the transmission tuning or what, but fuel mileage is a little bit disappointing, I have to admit. Let's go over my likes that I like about this Corolla, and then we'll finish it off with the driving portion. So some of my likes has to be the way the outside looks. I absolutely do love the way the outside looks of this car. I think it's, especially the XSE. Now, I'm not a big fan of the color white, but it works on this car with the black and dark painted trim of the wheels, of the spoiler in the back, and some other trim pieces. It really works. I'm kind of a big fan of like the black and white contrast that this car has. Even if this was a different color, I think it would look pretty good, even a different color. So I do love the way the new Corolla looks, especially in this XSE trim. I'm awesome that I think I'm thankful that I have this particular trim to test out and to give you guys. A second thing that I like has to be the infotainment. Now, I don't mind the infotainment. It can be a little bit slow to boot up, but once you're in it, the Toyota connected system is actually pretty nice. Very easy to get a hold of, very snappy. It's wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay with a wireless charger. So the infotainment actually works really well, and it's easy to get around. I can do my vehicle settings, my trim information. I can do history. You can see my previous best 31.3, latest 29.9. I can do all kinds of settings in here and everything. So I appreciate the settings that are in this particular vehicle, and how it works with the system. It's actually pretty laid out. First time ever using the new Toyota Connected Services, and I'm pretty impressed by it. And finally, my third like for this vehicle has to be the interface of the safety sense from Toyota, the 3.0, which it works really, really well. I have to admit, the way the adaptive cruise works, the lane centering, all that is beautifully integrated, and it's a joy to drive, because that Safety Sense 3.0 really works well, and it's standard. No matter if you get the base Corolla or even this one of the top trims, XSE, the LE, hybrids, whatever, all come standard with the Safety Sense 3.0, and I really appreciate that, Toyota. Thank you so much. So anyway, let's go into the driving portion. I'll kind of give my final thoughts on this Corolla. Overall, it's a really good car. There's some ergonomic things that kind of bug me a little bit, like the center tunnel and the hard plastic, and just rubbing my knee raw, and some other things that are a little bit of quirky with the transmission tuning and all that. But I'll get more into that in the driving. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right, JMC 6000 here, behind the wheel of the 2024 Toyota Corolla XSE. Awesome. So glad you guys are behind the wheel with me. And I like doing these behind the wheel video on the highway here. Actually, I'm on the highway doing about 70 miles per hour. About ready to kick that up here just a little bit. Anyway, a couple of things to remark. I want to say behind the wheel in this Toyota Corolla 2024 brand new XSE while I'm on the highway. So one of the things about the XSE package is the tires. And what I mean by that is, you guys saw when I walked around the vehicle, it has the low profile tires. They are 40 series tires, and what that translates to, and this car, when it was dropped off to me, has about almost 10,000 miles. What that translates to is just not only a noisy ride, but you can almost feel every imperfection through the tires because there's not much cushion there. They're low profile, so there's not much cushion, and that's something to think about if you're considering the Toyota Corolla XSE. Is these 40 series tires, again, there's not a lot of buffering cushion that you get. So that's one of the things I kind of want to touch upon during my behind the wheel. And also, as I'm behind the wheel, has to be, why does this truck want to come over? You don't need to come over, but what in the flying world? No, you don't need to come over. My goodness. Anyway, silly, awesome. All right. Don't know why a truck needs to come over right as I'm trying to get around them. Absolutely awesome. All right, anyway, back to my driving impressions. Again, tires, road noise, it's a little excessive in this vehicle, but it's something that you have to deal with. You may get around by getting different tires, but something you have to deal with. Also, I have to say, my fuel mileage in this vehicle, now this vehicle is listed to get up to 40 miles per gallon on the highway, a little over 30 in the city, with a combined around 36, and I'm getting nowhere near that. I know this has a dynamic force 2-liter engine and all that, and you would think with this new engine and everything, I would get pretty decent gas mileage. I mean, combined, I'm getting about 30. So way below the combined estimate, and even below the city estimate for this car. So kind of disappointing, the fuel mileage. And I know winter blend fuel and all that is going to play a part, but I mean, it's kind of disappointing, the fuel mileage. But again, if you want a higher mileage or higher, Corolla that'll get higher mileage as far as either city, especially city or highway, I would suggest looking at the Corolla LE hybrid is what you want to get. You want to get the Corolla LE hybrid, and that will help you get the better fuel mileage. So just something to think about. There is one step up above this Corolla. Again, I talked about this. Well, I'll talk about it now. This car stickers for right around, as it's tested, about $28,000, $29,000. And there is a vehicle, or there is a Corolla that's higher than this, and that's the LE hybrid, where you can get not only better mileage, but it is a little bit more money, pushing almost 30. So again, not much money from where my Maverick is. But one of the things I do like, the steering is very light, but it's nice and direct. I do like that about this car. I do like how smooth at times. Let's talk about the powertrain. the powertrain can be smooth at times. On the highway, it's nice and smooth. Going up and down, if I'm going up a hill and whatnot, nice and smooth. So I don't mind too much the powertrain then, but sometimes around town, the CVT can be a little jerky. Off the stop, and I know this has a literal first gear, and then it switches to the CVT after that, but it sometimes isn't very smooth, and sometimes the engine gets confused, or the CVT gets confused, and cause these crazy revs to be happening as you're driving around town. And especially when it's cold, it seems like it doesn't know what to do, or where to go, or what engine RPM to put it in. But when it's on the highway, it kind of settles down a little bit, and it's nice and smooth, and kind of tracks that way very easily. So I am impressed by that. But again, infotainment seems to be doing all right. I have no issues. I love Toyota's driver assistance package. This has the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. Adaptive cruise control works very well. Lane centering, I have it on, works very well as well. So those things work very well. So my overall impression and things, and I went over my likes and dislikes, but my overall impression of the Corolla XSE version, this 2024, is it's a good car. It's a good value car. There's nothing really extravagant that really stands out for me. The interior is somewhat nice, but I think for the money, I would actually, if you want a Corolla, I would say go for the hybrid. You know, go for one of the hybrid versions, or just straight up get a Prius. You know, I mean, the new Priuses look amazing. They may be hard to come by, but they look amazing, and I'm sure they drive pretty decently. So, you know, if you're hung up on a Corolla, okay. But I think there's better options out there, especially for fuel mileage. I would say go for the hybrid, get about the same amount of power, and with that, or just go for the Prius and blow the mileage out of the way. You know, more power than what this thing has, even in the XSE form. But decent vehicle. I'm left wanting more, and there's some compromises, like space in here. It's a little bit tight and whatnot. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Again, this is the 2024 Toyota Corolla XSE non-hybrid review. Guys, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and let me know what other videos you want to see. This is JMC 6000, and appreciate you guys tuning in. You guys be blessed. Have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Awesome.